The definition of trust is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, and strength of something or something. Someone. Someone. Forgot about someone. Someone or something. Now, muscle testing. It's a lot of trust, right? It's a lot of trust in your intuition, your gut instincts. When was the last time you trusted yourself? When was the last time you had a firm belief in your reliability, your truth, ability? I know I've not trusted my abilities many times in the past. I've not followed through on things because it's too big. What if I'm working on my motorcycle and I don't tighten the bolt enough and my tire goes flying off and I die? Possibility, right? But what if it's your lack of trust in yourself, in your abilities to do something such as tighten a bolt because you've been taught how to tighten a bolt. You've tightened bolts many times in the past and nothing bad has ever happened. But because of other incidents in your life, not related to motorcycle tire, you lost your trust, your ability, your strength. And that happens with all kinds of things. Concussions will definitely possibly be a cause of a loss of strength, a loss of your trust, a loss of your abilities. If you've ever had a concussion or a whiplash or a head injury, or ever been cheated on, lied to, or ever cheated and lied, you may very well be lacking trust within yourself. So maybe it's not a lack of trust in others. Maybe it's a lack of trust in yourself. And when you trust yourself, you will know who or what you cannot trust. For instance, a rickety old boat. It might look untrustworthy, but when you further inspect it, because that would be the smart thing to do, you notice that, yeah, it needs a massive paint job and it's got dents anywhere, but the hull of this boat is solid. There's no holes in it. And the oars are solid. No, the oars aren't broken. So I can take this boat out and feel completely safe in it. Whereas if you had just judged and judged the boat because of its lack of beauty, ah, can't go in that boat because I don't trust it. So we've got judgment, we've got trust. Now, if it's got an engine, you've got to go into more detail, right? A boat with an engine, if it's been beat up, okay, I really need to go over this engine, because if this engine doesn't operate in the middle of that lake or ocean, I may very well be screwed. Now, if it's a lake, check and see if it's got oars. If it's got oars, okay, if this, I'll do a quick check, make sure everything's good, make sure it's got oil and gas, and make sure it starts up on the first pull, maybe the second. But if it craps out, okay, I can get back in with an oar, or I've got a rope, I can flag somebody down. Hey, can you give me a tow in, right? But if you don't check all those things, you might get stuck out there overnight. I hope you got a sleeping bag, because those lakes can get cold even in summertime. Now, I know that doesn't exactly resonate with trust, but it does, because it was about trusting the boat, trusting the motor, trusting your knowledge. Do you have the knowledge to check out the engine? And if not, maybe you shouldn't be taking that boat out there. Do you have trust in your skill to drive that boat? I almost ran my dad over one time. Of course, this was after I had fallen many times attempting to wakeboard, because wakeboarding is cool. And if you've ever hit your head on water, it ain't so soft and it hurts, especially if you've had multiple head injuries. Speaking of which, man, this is bringing up a little bit of dizziness in my eyes, so I'm going to start tapping. Now, why would I tap while I'm talking about this time that I almost ran over my dad? Well, freaking sucked. I was scared. I was pissed at myself, right? And I was freaking dizzy as hell from hitting my head multiple times trying to be wicked crazy cool like those freaking those wakeboarders are cool. Flying through the air, holding onto a friggin' rope in the middle of the friggin' water and doing tricks. It's amazing watching them. Unfortunately, when you don't genuinely belong in the air because you freeze up and you don't know what you're doing up in there, you probably shouldn't be just jumping. Maybe you should learn how to or safely ride behind a boat. But, we do dumb things sometimes. And then you get in the boat and your dad's like, "Hey, I want to go out there." So, okay, I'll drive the boat. Never having driven a boat before, not knowing that I know it's different than a car, but especially when your brain's going crazy from getting hit, you can't think. Boy, I was scared. And in my world back in the day when my head was not cooperating correctly, when I was scared, it came out as anger. Know this. Those concussions, those head injuries, any injuries in your body can test your trust of yourself, your skills. If you've ever been injured by somebody else, for instance, a car accident, you may lose trust in everybody else driving. Everybody's an idiot but me. Well, that may be from other experiences or other education that you've been through as well, but slowing down through a green light is not safe. Why are you slowing down through a green light? Is it because you don't trust the fact that somebody is not going to stop on the red? Maybe. Do you not trust the fact that somebody's got a yellow up here and they're going to go in front of you? Maybe. But maybe they've got plenty of time to go through. But because of your lack of trust in everybody else and your skills to hit the brakes, you slow down. And now instead of going 65, you slow down to 50. And the car coming up behind you still going 65, 70 miles an hour. You're creating possible car accident because of your emotional attachment to your experiences in relation to cars in the past, your lack of trust. So how do we rediscover our trust? Well, this is a great way to do it. The tapping that I'm doing, tapping is a great way to talk to the subconscious, the inner child, the basic self that's trying to keep you alive. And you can release the emotional attachments to everything. And notice when I said everything, you just tightened up. Well, there's a lot of things in my life that have tested my trust in myself and others and other things. How am I supposed to do all that? Well, how did Michelangelo create, or Michelangelo, is that the one that created Michael? I think it is. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. How did you get Michael out of a big old piece of granite? Marble. Sorry, marble. Did he just go whack one time and no? You got to go in, you got to search, you got to find, you got to be diligent and patient and strong. You've got to be strong to do this healing work, to face your shadows, to face your demons, to face the darkness, to face the emotional attachment, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a crap what you want to call it. The hippy dippies call it shadow work. The people who don't know what the heck they're doing, right? Okay, well, yeah, I had a car accident this time, but whatever, right? But the subconscious still remembers that car accident. And so we've got to heal it. We've got to release the emotional attachment to it because it may very well be causing the aches and pains in your body. It may very well be causing the dis-ease or the possibly even the disease. Because that one car accident may be related to a bunch of other injuries that you had, especially if you were doing dumb stuff in the 90s like snowboarding and drinking and partying and yeah, so I speak from experience. I've done these stupid things, but I've also done some great things. I've also got some amazing memories. But sometimes in relation to the limbic system, those memories get clouded. Those memories get clouded by all the negative experiences. And so another something you can do to find trust is reading the definition back to yourself. Firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, and strength of myself. Do you feel strong? And if you don't, how can I get strong? How can I get flexible? What does that even mean? Maybe I've never been strong. I don't even know what the word strength is. What can you do? You can Google the definition of strength and start tapping while you read it. And I know this doesn't make any sense, but this is how I started. I didn't know the definition of words. I mean, I knew what the words meant because I could feel the friggin' anger. But I literally went in and asked Google to define anger, sadness, depression, sorrow. And I tapped and I went inside and I released the emotional attachment to everything that happened that made me feel those things, that made me lose my trust, especially in myself, so that when I'm working with you, I can muscle test your energy and know exactly where to go, what to do to create instantaneous change. And I mean instantaneous. We're not going to friggin' dwell on one part of your life unless that one part of your life has got roots that travel friggin' everywhere. But we're going to take out all those roots in relation to that one thing in your life, in relation to that one car accident. Maybe the person teaching you how to drive was not a good teacher and only knew one way to drive. It was a friggin' hard ass. Maybe you had a car accident before you learned how to drive. Maybe you had a car accident when you were a child. Maybe you had a car accident when you were in your mom's belly. Maybe your mom had a car accident before you even given birth. So there's genetic markers that are making you afraid. I have a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, and strength of myself. I have firm faith and belief in the reliability, truth, ability, and strength, and flexibility, and happiness within myself. And yeah, since I've found my happiness inside, my trust even rises up even more. And I love that. So if you're ready to begin trusting yourself so that you know who or what you can trust, start doing the work. If you need help doing the work, you know where I'm at. KimMcIntyre.com. I'll see you then.